Sivan La'asok B'divrei Torah.
Torah. Amen.
Okay, now it's good to see you all. I see squinting. I see Doris. Hi, Doris. Barbara. Hi. Merle and Vertigo. Susie. You catered a lovely dinner last night. I ended up with way too big of a meal, but anyway. Cindy. Shabbat Shalom. Hi, Steve. Rebecca. Hi.
I leave a little early today.
We'll notice that. Okay, Mara and Harv, Shabbat Shalom. Diane, hi. Hi. David, good to see you, David. Hi, Shabbat Shalom. Lynn, on the beach with the palm trees. Kevin, worried about my professional employment. I do appreciate that. If you would please send an anonymous letter to the Board of Trustees asking them to save all the money on my salary by firing me, I would be very grateful. Okay, Donna, Shabbat Shalom. We have lunch coming up, right? We do. Okay. Okay, Larry, Shabbat Shalom. How are you, Larry? You good? Good. Okay, Eric, Shabbat Shalom. Hi. You lived in one of the most exciting cities in the world for about 3 weeks, and now everything is going to go quiet in New York, and we're going to get back to whatever. Brad, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Helen, Shabbat Shalom. How are you?
Shabbat Shalom.
Hi. Tamara, Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, you and I need to talk a little bit if we can find time late this afternoon. Okay, stuff is happening. Barbara, Shabbat Shalom. I haven't seen you since last night. Okay, Zach, hi, Shabbat Shalom. Marina, Shabbat Shalom. Joseph, Aviva, hi. Oh, my favorite educator, Aviva Levin. Yes, okay.
Real cute.
Okay, Karen Sarachik, Shabbat Shalom. We have a lovely group, and today is a party day. We all know that. It is the day in which we celebrate I can't see it. Is that, oh, God love you. God love you. Yes, yes. Our tribe is growing. Yes. People try to figure out, why do you have so many people Saturday morning? And I say, you don't want to know why. You don't want to know why. Okay, Barbara, we see. Zach, yeah. Marina, Joseph, hi, Shabbat Shalom. Maya, your mother said hello to you. And Karen, Shabbat Shalom. Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom. You know, no matter how I feel, when I look at you, I just feel great. Okay, so there you go. Now, what we're going to be doing today, first of all, is to do calendar. Besides the Siyum today, I am going to drive this home until every single one of you agrees to show up. On June 5th, 9:45 in the morning, through the sponsorship of Sisterhood and Wilshire Boulevard, Dahlia Marks is delivering a lecture at Resnick. And I don't do this much. Please don't miss this lecture if you can avoid it. She is way too smart. Setting that aside, she knows more about Jewish prayer and worship and liturgy than I think anyone around right now. It's going to be a wonderful 1 hour, 9:45 to 10:45, at Resnick. Professor, Dr. Rabbi, yeah, that's all she has. She's not a dentist. Will be lecturing about changes in the liturgy, especially after October 7th. So all kinds of things are happening. And please, please, please don't come back to me later and say, oh, I heard it was wonderful. I'm sorry I missed it. Come to meet her and see her and do that. Okay, June 11th, in Resnick, a small group of select rabbis, which means it does not include me, a small group of select rabbis will be discussing Shavuot. And it should be, those things are always a lot of fun. So the rabbis will discuss and debate Shavuot, June 11th in the evening. I don't have the exact time. And then
7 o'clock.
what a wonderful world. That's incredible. A bat call. Yes. Okay. And June 21st, we begin our outdoor summer services, and they're going to be at Irmis. Please note that. June 21st, outdoor summer services at Irmis, not at Resnick, Irmis. Okay, so we got that. Okay, Joseph, what do you have in your hands? Joseph Perling. Joseph, you there? Oh, there you are. What are you holding?
This is my daughter putting her back to sleep. So.
Oh, let's see. Oh, she's beautiful.
Okay, Joseph, not a problem. Once I start teaching, she will be asleep. She'll be asleep.
How
Okay.
old is she?
Okay, enough, Donna. Okay, checking in. Do we have any checking in for today? Things happening in your lives that you want to share with us? Anything? Okay.
I might not, I hopefully will be here next week, but the following week I'm going to Yosemite backpacking for a week. I'm going to hike about 55 miles with my son with a backpack and a tent, and I'm just really excited about that trip.
55 miles?
Well, it's 27 miles straight, but we'll set up a tent and hike a little in, hike a little back, set up another tent, hike a little in, hike a little back, going from Tuolumne Meadows all the way to Yosemite Valley.
Well, pray for your safety.
I think that is beautiful. Do you know there are 17 rules in the rabbinic literature warning us against too much stress in the outdoors that may weaken us for Talmud study? But in any event, I wish you well. Wow. Can you send a picture? I'd love to get a picture.
Well, when I'm back, I'll send pictures. But I've been to Yosemite quite a bit. Okay.
Yosemite, of course, strikes me as one of my favorite places because somewhere there was a president who referred to the park as Yosemite. And he did. Yosemite. Which immediately caused me to spend $15 on a t-shirt that says Yosemite. And then I became afraid of wearing it, so I never wore it. But yes, he said Yosemite. Okay, we are going to go, and this is a tiny chapter, finishing the book of Leviticus. But you understand that when you finish Leviticus, next week is Numbers.
Yeah.
And then there's Deuteronomy, and then there's Simchas Torah and chocolate bars. It's the year is really plugging along.
Rabbi, I have my hand up.
Okay, please, what?
I'm going to be moving to New Jersey.
Okay, when do you move?
Well, I'm flying away next Saturday to Shabbat, and then I'll stay in Sydney. No, I can't say anything else yet, Rabbi. But I love you guys. I'll be on Zoom with you.
Okay.
Rabbi, can you tell us where we are, please?
Okay, remember that we're still available on the internet.
That's right.
we're going to go to chapter 26 of Leviticus, verse 3 to verse 17.
What page?
865. Ha, I knew that. All right. 865. And here, 865. This is a very difficult passage because it reads simply and positively and agreeably. And it is neither simple nor positive nor agreeable, but it reads differently. Let me just run with this. Here we go. We're doing the little Siyum passage. We're going to read a little bit from before the end of the Sedra instead of the usual end, but I gave myself permission. If you follow my laws and faithfully observe my commandments, I will grant your rains in their season. Earth shall yield its produce, trees of the field their fruit. Your threshing shall overtake the vintage. Your vintage shall overtake the summer sowing. You shall eat your fill of bread and dwell securely in the land. Do you see how the passage begins? If you follow my laws and faithfully observe my commandment. Let's go on. I will grant peace in the land, and you shall lie down untroubled by anyone. I will give the land respite from vicious beasts, and no sword shall crush your land. Your army shall give chase to your enemies. They shall fall before you by the sword. 5 of you shall give chase to 100. 100 will give chase to 10,000. That's not a good ratio, the way that worked out, but okay. Your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. I will look with favor upon you and make you fertile and multiply. I'll maintain my covenant. You shall eat old grain, long stored. You have to clear out the old to make room for all of the new. I will establish my abode in your midst. I will not spurn you. I will be ever present. I will be your God, and you shall be my people. I, the Eternal, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be their slaves no more, who broke the bars of your yoke and made you walk erect. We're going to get to the word erect in a moment. One more small passage. But if you do not obey me and do not observe all these commandments, if you reject my laws and spurn my rules, so that you do not observe all the commandments, you break my covenant, in turn I will do this to you. I will wreak misery upon you, consumption and fever, which cause the eyes to pine and the body to languish. You shall sow your seed to no purpose. Your enemies shall eat it. I will set my face against you. You shall be routed by your enemies. Your foes shall dominate you. And this is horrible. You shall flee, though no one pursues. Okay.
Yikes, that's terrible.
That's just a nice, simple statement that if you read it, especially the first part, you read it, and it sounds, oh, so very wonderful. And look at all the good things. And how do you, please understand, this is a key core chapter section in Torah. This is not an incidental, let's fill out the page, we'll write something. This is key Torah teaching. Folks, the challenge I'm offering you today, and I really would like your participation. How do you respond to this? This is the standard traditional rabbinic later on view. You screw up, that's why you're suffering. You may not know that you screwed up, but if you're suffering, that proves you screwed up. Okay? And I would love for you to bite into this passage. It is critically important in trying to understand what some people call theodicy, what some people call the role of justice in our world. Any thoughts?
May I
Any
speak,
thoughts?
Rabbi? May I
Pardon,
speak?
please. Brief?
I think we have to live our lives, and if we make mistakes, we repent. Rabbi Nance was talking about repentance the other day. We have to go through the Adonai honestly in our heart, and we have to make an effort to do what's right.
Okay, thank you. Next, please. How do you respond when you're told you're a Jew and this is your standard approach to understanding both good and evil in your world? How do you respond to that? Donna, what do you think? What do you do with this?
Well, I think it's kind of an unfair standard. I mean, it's like, how do you know what it means to fulfill all these rules? Sounds like you got to do them perfectly, otherwise you're toast.
Thank you, Donna.
So there's that, and it's just too extreme on both sides. It's like everything's hunky-dory. Plus, it blames people for being ill. It blames people for things that they have no control over. And that's the reason they're suffering. They did something bad, and it's disgusting. Anyway, it's a lot of fear. It's a way to control people through fear.
I
Howard,
love you, Donna. I love you, Donna.
please stop talking loose, please. Please. Howard?
I think that personally, that on a level of science and of modern knowledge and logic and history, we know that, or at least I know that, the universe doesn't have a consciousness, and that it just, it's all random. To sum up a very complicated thing, and it's meaningless. But on this level of a spiritual level, or the soul, especially for someone who's been brought up in the Jewish tradition, it's very, very meaningful to feel that someone who is an evil person will be punished, and that virtue is its own reward, and it also besides making you feel good, good things will happen to you.
Thank you, Steve, and then Kevin.
Before you even get to the points Donna made that I agree with, there's another problem, because there are contradictions, there are different interpretations. So it's not even clear to me what is right and what is wrong, and it's going to vary from person to person. And we shouldn't even necessarily be judging each other or making the assumption that they made a mistake, and that's why they're in the position they're in, because it's not for us.
Looking mossy
Okay.
today when I had another drink.
Somebody should get muted. You're
So
not.
can I cancel?
Susie,
Susie. Cancel.
mute Susie.
Okay. Sure, take your time.
Susie, mute.
Susie,
Mute.
1 p.m. today.
Susie, mute.
Why is she not hearing you?
Mom, can't you mute? You're the host.
Okay. Now, Kevin.
Perfect, at 2 p.m.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure how to read this, whether this was directed to an individual or a collective.
Thank you,
If
dear.
it's the individual and you're good, then everything should be good and you have nothing to worry about. But the collective, your neighbor does something bad, I guess you hang them. Because it sounds more like a collective than individual.
That's very interesting. That'll be, of course, a subject of debate, but it's a big debate. It's a crucial point. Excellent, Kevin. Who else would like to pop in on this? This is talking about your beliefs. Can you believe in a world in which you won the lottery because you keep kosher or something? Is that the world you inhabit? You were hit by a car because you didn't separate meat and milk. What do you think? Can you say this? Do you hold it? Do you believe it? If you talk to most people on the street, I'm going to guess that a lot of people say, yeah. Thoughtlessly, they would say, yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Comment. Donna? No. Okay.
Well, no, I was just going to say, it's like, why do bad things happen to good people?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be good?
Harvey
Does
has
everybody have to be
his hand
orthodox?
up. Harvey has his hand up.
Okay, Harvey, I'm sorry. I don't see him.
This is kind of telling me this whole section is leading to some are guilty, all are responsible. And it's holding everybody responsible for whatever happens that's bad. That's the way I'm looking at it. Is that the way you look at it?
Well, it doesn't matter because Tamara really looks at it that way. And if I say no, then I'm in bad shape. So Tamara's going like this, and that means I agree.
If it doesn't rain, that affects everyone.
Yes. This is real stuff, if you will. Why? I have a really, 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 really good friend, and Risa doesn't even know about this. I hope she's not online. That one of our closest friends suddenly had his cancer break out again big time. And all that he is one of the sweetest, most beautiful human beings you'd ever want to meet. Literally, I literally mean that. He is a beautiful human being. And so what's the necessary connection between our friend's resurgent cancer and behavior? And what is it? Help me. By the way, I've got to talk to him this afternoon. So help me. What do I say? Don't worry. God has bigger plans for you. Good. I'll tell my 4 children. They'll feel very comforted by this. What do I do? What do you say? Where are you? Come on, help me. Yeah, this is real world. This is real world. No one's going to jump in and save my butt, huh? Okay. It's very bothersome to me. This passage is foundational for the Jewish belief in reward and punishment. This is the one they go back to over and over again. This is where the establishment puts down its tent pegs, and not in Yosemite, but in theology.
Several people have their hands up. I think they want to help.
Good. I cannot see that. Thank you. Who, Tamara?
Howard, Aviva.
Aviva? Okay, please.
Howard, Aviva, Susie, and Kimberly.
Okay, Aviva?
Yeah, so obviously in my line of work, that question about disease and suffering and reward and punishment gets asked every day. And I have worked very hard for myself to distinguish between a God-invoked punishment and failures of the flesh as human beings and our efforts to try to defy reality. And I don't see the breakdown of the human body as punishment, but as an inevitable course of life. And it is not one person being chosen to suffer. I just refuse to believe that that is the God with whom I have relationship. But I do believe that we can learn from the terrors and horrors in the world to do better. And if we want to say God brought that down so that we can grow, learn, do better, I'm okay with that. But that is not the reality of illness and frailty. And I just cannot put those into the same conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I don't have any hands. I don't know why it's not showing. But Howard?
I mean, for the person that had the sudden breakout of serious cancer, I certainly wouldn't try to comfort him by trying to convince him, if he doesn't already understand it, that the universe is random. But at the same time, I would say that reciting Psalms or thinking words of the Hebrew scriptures, such as the Lord is with me, I cannot fear, is very comforting and beneficial and meaningful, especially if you've been brought up that way. And as for saying, well, no, you should go out and that money that you embezzled from your cousin 10 years ago, you should give it back to him, and then maybe the cancer will go away. You certainly, that doesn't mean anything to me. I would go more with a Buddhist approach, that being holy is being done for certain rewards. It's being done for its own self.
Thank you. God, you're doing well today, people. Susie?
She's muted.
Okay. Yes.
Mute, Susie.
Yeah. Okay. We'll hold.
Okay, now, what I just said was so beautiful. Okay, thank you to Aviva. What you said really struck me, and I believe the same way that you do, and you said it really wonderfully. And thank you, Howard. I like what you said. Following in your footsteps, which are very big, I really think that our religion, I think that being Jewish, going to synagogue when you do, and praying, etc., I think that it prepares us. And if I had to make the telephone call that you're making, Rabbi Davids, I would be full of hope for not an afterlife, but entering peace, entering a more peaceful place than he's in right now, and relieve him of any fear and dwell on what a fine human being he is, and he's going to be bringing that fineness to the next place he's going, if that makes any sense to anyone.
It makes a lot of sense.
I truly believe that.
I see Zach's, Merle, Mara and Harv. Okay, let's go with that.
Thank you.
I grew up with a song in the church that's called "The Battle Is Not Yours." And that's how I see it, that sometimes God is testing you or testing a message through you, that you're being used for a purpose. And so it's not necessarily about you. You're just a vehicle for testing.
An instrument.
An instrument.
An instrument. Thank you. Merle.
I listened to what Aviva said, and we're dealing with a recent death in the family of a cousin who caused a lot of family issues. And I'm not sure that any of us, it's Arnie's family and all of his cousins, but nobody is having an easy time with this, there's a lot of discussion as to who this person was and why he behaved the way he did and the things he did to all of these people in the family. I mean, he didn't pick on one person, he went for all of them in one way or another. And it's a tough discussion. It's tough to mix our thoughts or what's going on with everyone into any religious concept. He is who he is. Oh, he is who he was. His daughter is carrying on his tradition. And it's just been a really difficult, trying 2 weeks for everyone, especially where Sharon, our daughter, had to explain it to the girls who were also victims of his, for lack of better terminology, abuse over the last 3 years. And it's just been, I'm not sure where anyone can make a fair analysis to any of this and how it applies to religion or life in general or whatever. That's it.
Wow. Okay. Harv, Mara.
In looking at this passage, I think the passage is aspirational, and the so-called punishments are, in a way, not irrelevant, but they are the ways in which each of us might understand punishment. And I think that the real punishment comes if you don't aspire to walk in God's way. Then, in fact, the punishments, the death, you experience every day. So I think what's most important, if one is suffering in any way, is to work even harder to be the kind of person that God wishes us to be. And in that way, we experience the most life we possibly can.
Marina?
If we talk about crime and punishment in other chapters of the Torah, we read about God punishing through generations and generations. So we may not know what the punishment is for. But in today's frame, I look at, say, mental health or neurological problems that a family has to deal with as a set of cards that was given out. And the religion may help us to deal with it, to find comfort, and to find a way to resolve the pain. But I cannot accept it that you did something and that's why it happens to you.
You said something, you said a bunch of things that are significant. One struck me. We're all looking to find ways to ease the pain of living. How do we ease the pain? That's a very, very, in other words, it's sort of like, that goes to the core of being alive. How do we ease the pain of loss, of pain, of failure, of whatever?
By finding a purpose and a reason to deal with it, to conquer the pain, to help others live fully, even in difficult circumstances.
I like
Thank
that.
you.
Rabbi, I have my hand up.
Okay, Donna.
I was what she was saying. I wanted to say exactly that. And I use the piano and singing. And I'm gonna miss you all so much. But I'll be on Zoom and I'm gonna be happy. And I'm letting Susie and Cindy know what's going on. I can't talk about everything yet till it's to be down. But all of you have touched my life. I'll never be the same. But we'll be on Zoom together. And then there may be a party in Vegas for my birthday. We'll have to see what the family says on June 20th. So I'll let you know, okay? So I love you all very much.
Thank you. Love you back. Okay, Kevin.
Okay, I'm just wondering if it's a call for unity, because if you have 12 tribes of Israel, they all got dispersed into different locations within Israel. They're, not talking to each other anymore. This actually is calling them to be unified. If there is a problem amongst them, it affects everyone. That's
Again, I'm hearing things that I want to remember. Every time you look at another person, there's one thing you can be certain of. They're in pain. For one reason or another, everyone is in pain. There's a commonality to that. There's a commonality, and that's what makes certain religious traditions function. We're in pain. I'm in pain. We're all in pain. It is a common feature of our humanity to be in pain. And then, as you've said beautifully, to look for ways, reasons to understand, set aside, or walk away from that pain. Thank you. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop here because I have this bottle of Slivovitz and Donna has a bottle of Slivovitz, and I'm going to toast Donna. And for those of you who may not remember, we do this 5 times a year with the Siyum, and we say Borei Pri Ha'etz because Slivovitz is a plum brandy, which is not on a vine, but it's a plum.
Yeah, Rabbi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri ha'etz. Then, where's Cindy? I don't see Cindy. Cindy's got to be here someplace. There you are.
Yeah.
Cindy?
Yes.
Okay.
Good for you. Okay.
Okay. So we can do this. I actually have a buffet today. I have gefilte fish and creamed herring. So I would do it any way you want. I am going to take a little bit of the creamed herring and say borei mine mezonot. Thank God for allowing us to have all different kinds of food. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Hainu
melech
Melech
haolam borei mine mezonot.
Enjoy.
And we say Chazak,
Azak.
V'nit Chazek. Let us be strong. Let us be strong. Let us strengthen one another. Okay, I think that's terrific. Every day should begin with a little bit of leftover pickled herring, creamed herring. Okay.
That's right.
Now, I put this in large print. Our text is response to a fact that people have a need to understand why there are blessings as well as why there are curses. We spend a lot of time trying to figure out why bad things happen. But the problem is we need to understand why good things happen too. Now, if Howard is correct, then it's all random. There is no built-in significance to life, no meaning woven into existence. It is just what it is. We can say, I believe that life is much more than that. I believe that life has much more to offer and to give. Fine. But remember that opening statement is, I believe that. Right? It's not dispositive. It's not proof. It is a statement of belief. Now, I want to move to 2613. 2613. This is page 865.
8 what?
865.
Thank you.
I will establish my abode in your midst. I will not spurn you. I will be ever present. I will be your God. You will be my people. I, the eternal, am your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be their slaves no more. Who broke the bars of your yoke, and here is the phrase. Va'olech etchem komamiyut. I will bring you upright. What is the image? What is the importance of komamiyut here? What's being said? Not a throwaway phrase. Upright.
May I say, Rabbi?
Cindy?
That as slaves, we were subservient to other people and bent over in the labor. But now as free people, we have self-pride. We can walk tall and be proud.
Do you ever watch people walking down the street? And some people are perpetually bent. They just are. And I don't mean from bone disease. But some people confront existence bent over. And the Torah says the way to live your lives is komamiyut. Upright, standing straight. Talk to me about that image. What does that do to, for, if, with you? Komamiyut. By the
May
way,
I, Rabbi? May I?
Hold it, you're talking as opposed to raising your hand.
My hand's up.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
One of the prayers we have is that God should bring us koma miyut la'artzenu. God should bring us upright into our land. What's the point? What is being said? What's the value of being koma miyut? I'm looking for someone else who has something to say. Okay, I see over there, Doris.
Yeah, maybe it's the difference between people and animals, because animals are bent over, and human beings should be walking up erect to distinguish them from the animals.
One of the things I love about thoroughbred horses is they always seem to be erect. They just always seem, they're so beautiful. Okay, separate question. But yes, yeah. Okay, Susie.
Well, I think it's pretty simple to me. The more erect and straight your posture is, I think within you project confidence and you feel better. You just feel much better when you're not slumping and worrying about everything. I think it relates to a mental image.
Did you ever say to any kids, stand up straight?
Absolutely. Sit up straight. Absolutely. Sit up. No, it was sit up tall.
Tall.
Tall. Like me.
Yeah, right. Okay, Kevin.
Oh. That's why I like yoga.
Okay, I would say more look into someone's eyes. So if you're subservient, you look down and you don't look into someone's eyes. If you're, not subservient, your head's upright and you're looking into someone's eyes.
To be upright is to be assertive. I'm standing here. I'm looking straight forward. No surprises. Merle. Merle?
I can't stand up straight without a walker or a cane, but I think this is more about, how you walk and how you stand, etc., is showing your attitude, showing how you feel.
When you see a person walking down the street bent over, you can pretty much draw a diagram about that person.
Right.
It may not be accurate, but we do that. We do that.
It's how you look at them, especially if you happen to know them or not.
I brought you out of the land of Egypt. Be slaves no more. Walk erect. Walk erect. Erect is a symbol of freedom. Erect is a symbol of control. It's even a symbol of positive outlook. Eric.
When I go on the subway and the bus in New York, I always stand erect and observe my surroundings so I remain safe. If you look like bent over, you're a victim. You're a potential victim.
New York, a wonderful town. Yes. Yes. You look down, you're setting yourselves up to be victims. Yes, Brad.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why, Rabbi, but in my mind, I associate being erect or upright with being righteous, with that there's a moral quality relating to being erect or upright. We talk about an upright citizen, for example.
That's interesting. Okay, Donna.
Well, to the extent that we believe that God's up there, we are bringing ourselves up towards the divine. And the idea of raising something up is like raising up the sacrifices, our lives, ourselves. We're we're stretching up towards the Holy One.
Upward is always better. I mean, aliyah is upward. Yes. Very interesting. I have two things. Okay, Steve, and then quickly.
I would say it's not only your own self-esteem and dignity, but I think if everybody is walking upright, it demonstrates how we should respect each other, and it's more about them as people than their station in life.
Are you more likely to show respect toward a person who stands before you upright, erect?
I think people are.
Donna? No. Okay. Very good. Okay, I have two things left and no time to do it. So verse 36. Please look at verse 36. It's amazing what shows up in the Torah. It's amazing. Verse 36. As for those of you who survive, I will cast a faintness into their hearts in the land of their enemies. This is what it's like to be afraid. The sound of a driven leaf shall put them to flight. The statement, as a driven leaf, not only is it a book by Steinberg and, like that, but it's here. It comes from here. And the epitome of fearfulness is that the sound of a driven leaf can leave you afraid. Right?
Yeah.
That's
You're
amazing.
right, Rabbi.
And then verse 45, I'm going to give out a special award for if you know the name of the Jewish value that is expressed here. Yet even then, when they are in the land of their enemies, I will not reject them or spurn them, so as to destroy them, annulling my covenant. I will remember in their favor the covenant with the ancients, whom I freed from the land of Egypt and the sight of the nations to be their God. There is a major point of Jewish belief embodied in those words, though they're not those exact words. Do you know what it is? What does it say? I will remember in their favor the covenant with the ancients. Donna.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And
No,
obey the
please hold it a
sorry.
second. Donna.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure if I have the right word. Zechut, the merit of the ancestors.
You win the special prize for today.
Okay, what is it?
This is it's imaginary. This is the start of a perspective called Zechut Avot. We live in the benefit of those who went before. That's why in the Amido, how do we start? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. What are they doing? Hey, God, please remember, we got Zechut here, right? That's what this is. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the rest of the family. We have Zechut. We have the benefit of being Jewish and sharing those ancestors. To me, I don't know how it works in the real world. Boy, do I believe in Zechut Avot. That we live on the achievements, the thoughts, the views, the yearnings, the sacrifices of those who came before. Zechut Avot. It is a beautiful concept.
I agree.
We're going to finish up now and move on to Kaddish. Thank you for today. I don't quite know how that happened, but your responses, your involvement, terrific. So we're going to begin now by mentioning those who have passed away. Don't forget June 5th. Those who have passed away during the past month. Gene Gans, Glenn Golenberg, Harold Lurie, Jerry Malamud, Ronald Migdal, Richard Polonsky, Gail Rund, Dana Schwartz, Michael Schwartz, Doris Silver, Arthur Weiner, Harriet Weintraub. And the following the anniversaries of whose deaths have occurred during this past week: Randy Bank, Chaim Ben Ishai, Matthew Bergen, Marilyn Blank, Jonathan Blitz, Dorothy Drieben Block, Suzanne Patansky, Bernard Brown, Catherine Cardinale, Sidney Chersky, Edward Cord, Rosalind Danziger, Mary Edelstein, Sonia Pike Elgus, Samuel Epstein, Erica Falick, Gloria Farkas, Pearl Feller, Cecilia Firestein, Jerome Fleischman, Sherma Frank, Solomon Friedman, Jenny Gable, Bernard Benjamin Ginsburg, Rochelle Ginsburg, Malcolm Glazer, William Allen Goldberg, Mildred Goldfarb, Phyllis Goodman, Evelyn Green, Marjorie Green, Harold Gross, Herbert House, Sidney Hoffman, Bruce Hubbard, Sarah Eisenberg, Louis Jackson, Mort Kaplan, Samuel Corrin, Mike Lackman, Norton Lansing, Bell Lerman, Gerald Levin, Harry Levine, Seymour Levine, Gisela Lipsky, Samuel Lubliner, David Madnick, Harriet Maltzman, Edith Marcus, Isaac Meshnick, Jonathan Mills, Shirley Minter, Ariel Moore, Evelyn Sachs Morgan, Paul Nesbitt, Blanche Nevitt, Yedidia Nirvana, Ben Nitzberg, Netta Orangel, Doris Orakoff, Joan Pensky, Toby Rawson, Diane Ryback, Julia Rose Ralston, Helen Roseman, Rose Rosenblum, William Douglas Rossner, Mike Ruby, Tibler Radofsky, Jerome Samperstein, Dr. Victor Schiller, Sylvia Schlosser, Diane Schwartz, Israel Sinitsky, Sally Shadlin, Morris Shapiro, Sarah Shapiro, Leslie Scher, Louis Sherman, Leslie Shua and Alfred Silver, Ralph Sluth, Kenneth Sternberg, Arlene Stone, Alter Simpson, Bernard Tarrin, David Volk, Sarah Volk, Mildred Vieger, Laszlo Weiss, Joseph David Weissman, Philip Weiss, Stuart Wine, Lloyd Winthrop, Constance Zola. If there are other names to be remembered at this point, please speak those names aloud or in your hearts.
Alan Schlossberg, Shirley Weiner.
We mention as well all those who died in defense of the United States, those who died in defense of the state of Israel, those who died through senseless acts of terror and horror, those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. We bind them together. We join together in Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bi'alma Divra Tirute, V'yamlich Malchute, V'chayechon Uvyomechon, V'chayedechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv, V'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabba Mavarach. Yalam Liolmei Almaya.
Almaya.
Yitbarach. V'yishtabach. V'yitpa'ar.
Yitbar.
V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar.
Yitadar.
V'yitalel. V'yitalal. Shmei Dekudisha.
Yitadar.
La'ela. Min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Na'amiran bi'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu. V'al kol Yisrael.
V'yamru, amen.
V'yamru, amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom v'imromav. Uyaseh
Shalom
shalom.
Aleinu.
Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Israel.
V'imru,
Amen.
May God who makes peace in the high places
Hello.
make peace in our hearts, make peace in our homes, make peace in the household of Israel, make peace among all the families and nations of earth. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen.
Mwah. Have a wonderful Shabbat.
55-mile hike?
Wow. Start spreading the news. I love y'all very much.
Love you too.
Shabbat
Love
shalom.
you.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom. Thank
Shabbat
you.
shalom.
Shabbat
Another
shalom,
wonderful
everybody.
day.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's almost
Be
sunny.
all well. See you next week.
Yes, God willing, God willing, God willing. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.